So we did 5 things yesterday. Number 1, the need to study the text. Number 2, introduced the author and the text. Number 3, the inspiration behind the text, Maulik ji. Number 4, the occasion of the composition of the text, Nemi ji. Number 5, the worthy receivers, Adhikari Varg, by Apurva ji. Today we do another 5 things, and then we start with the first verse tomorrow. So what are we going to do today? The title, how apt it is, the aptness of the title. Second, subject matter. What is it about? What are we going to learn? Subject matter. Third, the style, shaili, method. Fourth, explanations and translations, vivechano ane bhashantaro. And last, the Mangalacharan itself, Patita Jana Pavni. Okay? So, first topic of today, aptness of the title. What is the title? So, originally when it was written on Asavad Ekam, if you see the first copy, Atma Siddhi. There is no Shri, there is no Shastra. Atma Siddhi. It seems even he didn't know how it's going to come out. A short poem or of the status of a scripture. It was just flowing. After 9 days, Asavad Dasam, in a letter to Lalluji Muni, he says, I am sending Atma Siddhi Shastra. So it's not the devotees who call it Atma Siddhi Shastra, it is Swayam Bhagwan saying, and Shri to as respect. If it's a person, we say Srimad. If it's a scripture, we say Shri. So, Shri Atma Siddhi Shastra, or say Atma Siddhi Shastra. So, I need to explain to you 3 things. Though there are 2 words, Atma Siddhi and Shastra, I need to explain the significance of the word Siddhi, Atma, and Shastra. Atma Siddhi Shastra. Correct? So first talking about Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, it has been said that hundreds of scholars together cannot derive such truth and depict it in such a simple language as Param Kripalu Dev did. The topic is too vast to finish in such a short composition. Simple way, complete in itself. Hundreds of scholars together, if they work for hours and hours, they would not come up with such a masterpiece. It is not just the creation of logic. It is created from the experience of the self. Clearly visible in Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, that Param Kripalu Dev has let his spiritual experience flow in Atma Siddhi Shastra. It is not just a compilation, it's not just a creation of logic and reasoning, but coming out from his self-experience, and it is clearly visible. Okay, let's go one word, one after the other. Siddhi, Atma, so Atma Siddhi, and third, Shastra. So first, Siddhi. What is the meaning of Siddhi? And today we'll start a dialogue. What is the meaning of Siddhi? Atma Siddhi, you know. I am talking of Siddhi. Siddhi will answer what is Siddhi. So a generic name I can say accomplishment in whichever field. Accomplishment, or you can say establishing. Accomplishment of establishing one's point of view. If I have been successful in putting forth my viewpoint, in convincing you, I have achieved Siddhi. Accomplishment. Establishing, proving what you wanted to prove. Right? Simple. So there are many texts in the Jain tradition, in the non-Jain tradition, many names of many texts has this word Siddhi in it. Like if you see the non-Jain tradition, the Vedanta tradition, you will get scriptures like Brahma Siddhi, Advaita Siddhi, establishing one's point of view regarding non-dualism, Advaita. So this is not the first Granth having the word Siddhi. That's what I want to say. There were many Vedic, non-Vedic, Jain, non-Jain texts, scriptures, having the word Siddhi in it. Brahma Siddhi, Siddhi of Brahma. Advaita Siddhi, Siddhi establishing your views on Advaita theory. Similarly, in the Jain traditions, you will have Sarvarth Siddhi. What is that? Commentary on the Tattvarth Sutra by Pujapad Swami. You don't need to know all this, but the word Siddhi I am saying, Sarvartha Siddhi, Anekanta Siddhi, Sarvagna Siddhi, etc. Here we have Atma Siddhi. So Siddhi is okay, accomplishment in proving, in establishing, in achieving. It can be in any way. Siddhi, accomplishment. Seni of what? Atma Siddhi. So second word, Atma. Establishing the truth about the soul in the form of 6 fundamental truths, aphorisms, anything. Cha pad dwara atmani siddhi. Cha pad, which is going to come in the next topic, subject matter. Establishing the nature of the soul through 6 aphorisms. Through strength of logic, reasoning, he has established the nature of the soul and the means to attain it, both in Sri Atma Siddhi. the nature of the soul, it's eternal, etc., and how to attain self-realization. A true speaker who contemplates on this text brings an inner transformation and attains self-realization. So we can conclude, Atma Siddhi, number one, convinces you regarding the soul on the intellectual level. Number one. What does Atma Siddhi do? Convinces you regarding the soul on the buddhi level, intellectual level, and shows you the path of self-realization, experiential level. So in both ways it is Siddhi. Siddhi in convincing you on the intellectual level through logic and reasoning and examples. Lot of examples in the first pad only. Convincing you regarding the soul on the intellectual level, Siddhi. Showing you the path of self-realization, so on the experiential level. From intellectual conviction to self-experience. આત્માની સિદ્ધિ કરીને આત્માની સિદ્ધિ કરાવે. Proves, convinces, establishes. આત્માની સિદ્ધિ કરીને આત્માની સિદ્ધિ કરાવે એવું શાસ્ત્ર, scripture. Clear? So siddhi, you understood accomplishment or establishing whatever. Atmani. And now Shastra. What is a Shastra? That which inspires, you have to say with me, inspires, instructs and fool. Then why do you need a Sadguru then? That is exactly what a Shastra can't do. Inspect. Shastra inspires you for self-realization, instructs you, prepares you, and gives you discipline. Vidhi Nishedh, what you should be doing, what you should not be doing. Negatively and positively. Positively and negatively. Do's positively, don'ts negatively. And prepares you to be receptive for a Sadguru. This much a Shastra can do. And then hand over to the Sadguru. Now you carry on. So, the Shastra inspires you for self-realization, shows you the Vidhi Nishedh as propounded by Lord Mahavir in Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, as propounded by Lord Mahavir, the last Jina. Okay? So finally, Shastra can provide guidance, inspiration, impetus for spiritual progress. But the need of a Sadguru will be emphasized in Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra. Atma Siddhi Shastra emphasizes on self-effort. Jo ichho parmarth to karo satya purusharth. But under the guidance of a Sadguru. On the path of liberation, self-realization. So, generally it is said that anything written by an Acharya, Upadhyay or Sadhu can be considered as a Shastra. Namo Ayaryanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Sahunam. Acharya, head of the congregation. Upadhyay, religious teachers. And sadhu, monks, ascetics. Anything written in prose by these three, Acharya, Upadhyay and Sadhu, is called a Shastra. Anything written in poetry by these three, Acharya, Upadhyay, Sadhu, is called Stotra. Bhaktamar Stotra, Uvasagram Stotra, poetic form. By an Acharya, Upadhyay and Sadhu, anything written in prose by Acharya, Upadhyay, Sadhu is called a Shastra, and anything written in a poetic form is called Stotra, and if it's too brief, Stuti. You understand? So, when you say this is a Stotra, you know it's either written by some Sadhu or by some Acharya or Upadhyay, Yashovijayji as we say. Correct? So, how can you call Atma Siddhi a Shastra? Because he was not an Acharya, he was not an Upadhyaya, and he was not a Sadhu. Whatever is written by a householder, Grihastha, in prose can be called Granth or book. And if he writes in poetry, it is called Kavya. Kavya. Sundar Kavya છે. Or Granth છે. But Shastra word will use. Shastra is connected with Samyak Gnan. Jainism is based on Samyak Gnan, true knowledge, which is authoritative and reliable. True knowledge comes out of enlightenment. Param Kripaludev was an enlightened one. So whatever comes from him comes out from Samyak Gnan, which is reliable. And whatever comes out from Samyak Gnan can be called Shastra, because it's a product of enlightenment. Understand? So if someone asks you, especially in America, okay, Srimad to Acharya nata, Upadhyay bhi nata, Sadhu bhi nata, so you say it's a good book, don't say Shastra. So this explanation. And you will say, wow, what for, this is an exception. No, many such examples I can give you. Shortage of time. But Moksha Marg Prakashak, written by Pandit Todarmalji. He was not a sadhu, but it's considered a Shastra. Natak Samaisar, written by Banarasi Das ji. And I'm going to take that text after Samaisar. So when the Swadhyaya hall is ready, we are going to take Samaisar. It all depends on Raman. God's will, Rama. Where is he? So it all depends on you when will be. Me, it depends on me. And after we finish Samaisar, I'm going to take Natak Samaisar. A Banarasi Das. A beautiful story, but I'm not going to say it today. One I have done with you. One more I have done with you. I have done this also. I have done Moksha Marg Prakashak with you, Pandit Todarmalji of Jaipur. Natak Samaisar by Banarasi Das of Agra. And one more, Chadala of Kavi Daulat Ramji in the Paryushan of 1995. In the Paryushan we had taken Chadala. So even he was a householder. but he had attained Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gnan. So it comes in the category of scriptures. In the same way. Hence, a person who wants to attain self-realization will get it all from Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra. Why I am saying all? He'll get the goal and the path. Inspiration and the instruction. Everything. To the level, Pandit Sukhlalji was a renowned Jain scholar of his time. I could not meet him, but I have met his Shishya. I've sat with him for hours in Ahmedabad when I had gone for my Shat Darshan studies. Wonderful person. So, Pandit Sukhlalji is considered Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra as Adhyatma Upanishad. I think at least you'll enjoy this one, this Upanishad, Adhyatma Upanishad. And he's called it Adhyatma Gita. Renowned Jain scholar saying, Atma Siddhi Shastra can be called Adhyatma Upanishad, Adhyatma Gita, encyclopedia of spiritual science. Encyclopedia, whatever you want, you'll get it here. So, I think we have realized the aptness of the title, Atma Siddhi Shastra. Siddhi, convincing on the intellectual level and inspiring for the experiential level. Simple. And Shastra, status of the scripture, holy scripture. So, what is the subject matter like before Maulikji shows, throws some light on it? Subject of Atma Siddhi Shastra is not to explain the Guru-Shishya relationship. Lot of gathas has Guru, lot of gathas has the word Shishya. Lot of subheadings of the sections of Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra has the word Guru, Shishya. But that is not the subject matter. How a Guru should be and how a Shishya should be will be explained. The grace of the Guru, the qualities of the Guru, the duties of a disciple, all this will be explained, but it is not the subject matter. What is the subject matter? It's in the title. Atma. So, the 6 fundamentals. Atma che, the soul exists. Atma nitya che, the soul is eternal. Atma karta che. You can just write 6 aphorisms right now. We are going to do it in detail. For months we'll be doing. So 6 fundamental truths regarding the soul. Atma che, the soul exists, existence of the soul. Atma nitya che, soul is eternal. Atma karta che, Atma is the doer of karmas. So we'll be discussing the whole philosophy of God in this. Who is the doer? I am writing my destiny or someone else is writing mine? The whole thing will be discussed here. Number 4, Atma Bhokta che, he is the enjoyer of the fruits of the karma he has accumulated. Okay? Enjoyer or sufferer, whatever. 5th, Moksha che, liberation is possible. liberation is possible. And last, moksha upay che. There is, there is a path to liberation, means to liberation. These 6 fundamental truths is the subject matter of Atma Siddhi Shastra. Many things will be discussed. Many things will be discussed. But what is the subject matter? Which will start in Gatha 43. So January is Upodghat or introduction. February is Matarthi, Atmarthi, Lakshan. And March will be starting with the first existence of the soul. Very beautifully and very carefully, these 6 truths are presented in Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra. I would say adequately presented. Nothing worth is left out. Adequately means sufficiently, completely presented in such a way, nothing worth, essential, is left out. Nothing. By composing the scripture Atma Siddhi Shastra, Param Kripadev has virtually carried, virtual શબ્દ આપણે વધારે કોવિડ ટાઈમ્સમાં વધારે વાપરું છે આપણે, virtual tour and virtual this, virtual inauguration and virtual what, and virtual making theplas and virtual eating theplas, downloading theplas, uploading theplas. So virtual shabda, I think I've used maximum in this 9 months. So it just comes in my head. Okay, it's like virtually he's carrying the sea of spiritual science in the bowl of the book of Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra. Something like Sagar ne Gagar ma samavi, that way. But not Gagar, I'm saying a bowl. Virtual. If one wants to really achieve self-realization, studying the text is enough, sufficient. He would not have to go to look for any other thing, to any other source. If he genuinely wants to attain self-realization, studying this text suffice. બીજે ક્યાંય જવું નહીં પડે extra information. Everything. So, explaining the fundamental philosophical truths, the nature of the soul, and the path of liberation. No sectarianism, isn't it? તમને ખબર નહીં પડે, you will not know whether he was a Shwetambar Jain or a Digambar Jain or a non-Jain, because the appeal is universal. ભક્તિની વાત આવશે પણ મૂર્તિની વાત નહીં આવે. You won't know whether he was a સ્થાનકવાસી or દેરાવાસી. So it's not sectarian, non-sectarianism is also a very important thing, and especially when the subject matter is such. Appeal is universal, logical, with reasoning. It analyzes the cause and effect of a man's delusion, ignorance, cause and effect, and how we can dispel it and attain self-realization. Everything, cause, effect, analyze karine badu. This is the cause of you crying right now, and this is going to be the effect. Now you are going to go into depression. This is the cause of your smile just now, and this is going to be the effect. You are going to become more and more worthy of his Rajipo. Cause, effect, everything. Everything analyzed. The approach, the appeal is universal. the approach is practical, realistic, for all those who have the courage and patience to follow this path, of course. It's difficult to completely say everything in such a short composition. But Param Kripalu Dev, the genius of Param Kripalu Dev, could do it with mastery. In fact, he could finish it all in 5 stanzas. 120, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123. The whole text, the summary of the text, the subject matter rather, spoken from the mouth of the disciple as lessons learnt by his guru. Just in 5 stanzas. सकल मार्ग निर्ग्रंथ, सकल समझाव्यो संक्षेप में सकल मार्ग निर्ग्रंथ. This is the mastery. Say it all in such a short composition. So, obviously, when it comes to the path of liberation, Param Kripalu Dev has put emphasis on self-effort under the guidance of a guru. 2 things very important. Self-effort, but this effort should be under the guidance of guru. Like some philosophers of the modern times, he has not condemned shastras, tradition, guru, sannyas. He has not condemned all that. But it should be under the guidance of a Sadguru, and assures the spiritual aspirant success in his struggle with delusion, ignorance, animal instincts. Provided he follows the method as laid down in the scripture in Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra. Let's know something more on the subject matter from Maulikji.
In this divine creation, which is extremely profound and inspires supreme spiritual feelings, Param Kripalu Dev has explained the principal subject of the 6 fundamentals and has unveiled the path of self-realization for all seekers. If one develops unswerving faith in these 6 fundamentals aligned with the enlightened one's vision, then he will attain self-realization and will be liberated from all misery. This was the heartfelt intention that led to the creation of this great scripture. You may now read the details on the screen as I speak. In Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, comprising of 142 verses, before explaining the main subject of the 6 fundamentals, Param Kripalu Dev lays the foundation within which he clarifies several purposeful matters. In the first section of verses 1 to 23, beginning with the auspicious obeisance, he explains the necessity of giving up self-will and following the path of humility. In the second section of verses 24 to 33, Param Kripalu Dev systematically shows the attributes of the bigot or the sectarian, who is devoid of the goal of self-realization, describing the traits of the 2 types of matarthis or bigots, namely the Kriyajad or the mechanical ritualist and Shushkagnani or the dry intellectualist. He instructs them to give up self-opinionedness and become true seekers. In the third section of verses 34 to 42, he has pointedly stated the attributes of the Atmarthi or the seeker of self-realization. He has stated in the 42nd verse that in order to inculcate right thinking and an understanding of the path of liberation, he will elucidate the 6 fundamentals, the central theme of this Shastra, in the form of a dialogue between a guru and a disciple. In the fourth section of verses 43 and 44, Param Kripaludev has named the six fundamentals and has stated that the six fundamentals themselves represent the six schools of philosophy. From the verse 45 to 118 are the six sections, 5th to 10th, wherein the worthy disciple simply and humbly presents his doubts about each of the six fundamentals to his guru. And the guru, with his divine, sweet words, patiently resolves them, reveals the essence of the truth, unravels the knots of confusion in the disciple's heart, and convinces him. So, in the first fundamental, soul exists, which is verses 45 to 58. The second fundamental, the soul is eternal, verses 59 to 70. The third fundamental, soul is the doer, verses 71 to 78. The fourth fundamental, soul is the receiver, verses 79 to 86. The fifth fundamental, there is liberation, verses 87 to 91. And the sixth fundamental, there is a path to liberation, verses 92 to 118. In the 11th section, which is verses 119 to 127, there is the expression of the attainment of enlightenment by the disciple. With inner exhilaration, he concisely expresses the understanding of the six fundamentals that has emerged in his heart. Full of gratitude, the disciple expresses his feeling of reverence and firmly resolves to act as per the instructions of the Sadguru. At the end, in the 12th section of verses 128 to 142, serving as a guide to seekers, like a pinnacle to the temple of Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, Param Kripaludev has composed 15 verses that are extremely worthy of reflection. He has clearly pointed out the places where one can possibly err or go astray. In the final verse, Param Kripaludev concludes by offering salutations at the lotus feet of the enlightened being, who though with the body, yet remains in a state beyond the body. Thus, Param Kripaludev has included the essence of all scriptures in just 142 verses. And studying such an outstanding scripture, Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, with one-pointedness makes one virtuous, worthy, and eventually one attains ultimate purity.